Let's begin in a seated position that helps us feel alert, relaxed. We'll connect to our Ujjayi breath. So our breath becomes more physical, might say animated. There's larger movements and influence associated with this Ujjayi breath, this deeper, more physical, soundful breath. I just want you to notice where the tip of your tongue is. Remain there. And without changing the tip of your tongue location, make the shape as if your exhale was going to sound an ooh sound, like an O, an ooh. I just want you to feel what's happening and how that feels in the mouth. We'll do a couple more. It's leaving the tip of your tongue where it is, whether it's behind the front teeth or behind the back, bottom teeth. Just let the tip of your tongue remain. So we're not moving the tongue. We're not really moving the lips. But now use the next several exhales as if your exhale were going to create the O sound, the long O sound. Now feel what happens when you create the ah, that bright A sound, A-H. And then just one more vowel. We're going to go with the long E or the E sound. So the tongue isn't really changing that much. The lips aren't really changing that much, but something is changing further back in the mouth and the throat. There's not a correct one. I just wanted you to feel certain changes in the mouth, and maybe one of those shapes helps you breathe more soundfully and freely. Maybe we didn't even know we can shape-shift our Ujjayi breath in our mouth like that. We're going to keep the Ujjayi going because it's part of a heat development. Let's change the cross of our legs right over left. I'm going with knee pile, but a right over left cross is perfect. And we'll allow the arms to just hang down, relax down. Inhale, spreading the foot bones. spreading breath into the upper back. We'll just go through the muscles of the back. So raise the shoulders up, gather, gather, squeeze them toward each other. Exhale. As you squeeze, move them down. There are loads and loads and loads of muscles that all relate to the voice and the neck, and they're linked up to the shoulders. So inhaling, relax the shoulders. It's hearing that Ujjayi sound, each and every one of these shoulder moves. And squeeze the shoulder blades together. Exhale, squeeze, getting the middle parts gathered, squeezing, dragging down. Releasing. Inhale to hear the Ujjayi. Bottom tips of blades, squeeze it up. Exhale, squeeze, drag. Sure to get both sides turned on. I'm just taking a few breaths. Maybe you'll do this with me. I'm just modulating that inner vowel creation. And it's just subtly filtering through my Ujjayi. I'm doing this as I'm focusing in the back of the heart. Do that with me. It doesn't matter the vowels. We've done it. It's just a subtle vocal shaping, mouth shaping. It's very subtle. But I'm just letting these different vowels, shapes, it's kind of bleed right through the Ujjayi as I'm feeling and focusing the heart. I have a sneaking suspicion. I don't know if I'm ready to release this hypothesis, but I have a sneaking suspicion that our ability to modulate our voice, our Ujjayi, is going to have a lot to do with, I guess the common parlance is self-regulate. I don't really like to self-regulate. So let's switch the cross of our legs. We'll just do something else. The general article writing population loves to self-regulate. I think we can do better than self-regulate. Inhale into the upper back. Allow the arms to relax down. Now raise the shoulders up. Give them a good gather. Exhale. Squeeze. Gather. Drag down. So as we're going through this side, can you feel the, I'm going to make up a word, the vowelization in the throat as you're going through these shoulder muscles? Just noticing, does your E go to a E? Or does your O go to a O? Just, you can start to feel the voice of the body just a different way. Inhaling into the mid-back, back of heart. Gather, squeeze the middle parts of the blades. And drag down. And release, inhale. Bottom tips. Hear the Ujjayi. I'll just take a 2 or 3 breaths into the back of the heart. Everyone's going to shape their mouth a little bit differently. I just wanted to kind of put out a couple of choice shapes just to get us modulating, feeling some things in the mouth and in the throat and in the vocal structure. Listen to wind. We'll lie on back. Inhale the head and the shoulders slightly off ground. And curl tail. Exhale, the left leg reach out. The low belly muscles sinking in and down. Inhale, bend left knee. Curl. Exhale, right leg out reach. And the belly. Inhale, bend right knee. I'm going to attempt to sound through this next exhale. So curl tail, exhale, reach out through the left leg, spreading the foot bones, pulling, gathering the belly down. Just say that we could voice all the way to the end of the exhale. Inhale, bending left knee. Tailbone shifts. Exhale, the right leg out reaches, even as the belly muscles are gathering, pulling, sinking in. Inhale, bend the right knee. Let's do 2, 3 more on each side. If that was too much choice for you, let's do 3. All right. You can start to hear your Ujjayi as a somewhat, I mean, it is voiced, but it's also, it's a pre-verbal voiced breath. The breath is going through the voice. It's not a neutered breath. It's rich with strain or struggle or resonance, openness. It's full of it. So much information. So listen really carefully to that Ujjayi. As you're finishing these last repetition or so, could you conceivably produce sound down to that moment where you're drawing the belly, the low belly in? Is that a possibility? I do have a theory about Alexander the Great. It's a really far-fetched theory, but it's not a bad one. I wonder that part of the greatness in terms of, conquering was that his armies marched and voiced together in unison as armies do. There's tremendous strength in moving with voice. We're doing it right now, if we're keen to it. Let's remain lying. Grab your roll or your block. And the legs. Gather around the squeezer, the squeezy. Inhaling into low belly and low back. As we breathe into the low back and we squeeze, exhaling, we can feel, hear, sound, how exhale expresses from the low back. Cool, sink, low belly in and down. And then softening abdomen, inhaling into the top rim of the sacrum. You have to breathe a little more down the left side or the right side, just depending on how the hip calls for it. Squeeze the legs around that thing. Exhale, stretching the legs to the sky. Head, shoulders lift off the ground. Cool, low belly in and down. Releasing the abdomen, inhale, letting the head down. All right, let's continue. You know well how these go. We'll just do some more together. No count. Just one by one. Complete the one that you're on and one more. Let each breath call into the body. The body is housing the unconscious, the forgotten. So every breath registering in the cells. Call into the depths. The breath isn't just a sounding out from the body. Remember, it's also a sounding in to the depth of the body. Great. I do want to do some bridge with us, so let's have a block nearby. I think y'all do. And with the feet set up about hip width. It's like calling with your breath right down into the sacrum and the space of the pelvis. And then exhaling. Tailbone shifts. The buttock and the sacrum shift away from the low back. These are lifting away from the ground. And keep moving the pelvis toward the sky. And we'll slip that block under the sacrum. I'm gonna watch you. I like the block to give us that touch point of the sacrum. Additionally, you can use your thumb and forefinger, your hands over the fleshy part of your waist, that hip bone. And you can create a little manual nudge also. So either, both and. So whether you're using the block or the block in your hands surrounding your hips, let's feel and sense for breath right there in the space of the pelvis, interior to the sacrum. Letting all those nerve roots get nourished. And then exhaling as the belly muscles sink in. Let the ribs arch away from the hips. So you're going to be putting a little bit of a stretch on things. And if you're using your hands on your hips, if you are, just make sure to press in a way where the shoulders keep gliding away from the jaw. I let the hands relax from the hips if that's where they are. Inhale, draw the left knee toward the chest. Exhale, we'll raise, reach through that left leg. And also let that left leg help lift. You get a tiny bit lighter on that block. You don't have to leave it all together, but just lightening. The legs are working with a nice bit of zest. And set left foot down. Do the right side. Inhaling the right knee toward chest. Exhaling, raising, reaching, lifting, lightening. And as you keep kind of energizing the leg, note and feel and hear in your mind's ear the voice of your breath, your Ujjayi. Even something as simple as just eliding through a vowel shape. Maybe just something as simple as that can alter how we're shaping our pose. Now, once we set feet down, we'll remove the block from under our pelvis and begin your descent. This might be an interesting move, a way to study those various sections of your back. If you've had back issues, you're starting to get closer to a known, remembered achy spot, pain spot. Notice how if the shape of your Ujjayi seizes. We've heard the phrase to talk through something. Well, this is, in a sense, a little sly, little covert yoga way of talking our nervous system through its states. Yeah. I wonder, this is all play. These are all just out loud wonderings. Once you've lowered, let's turn to a side. We're going to set up for dolphin. So this is all coming out of Stephen Porges's work. This body of work has a lot to do with how the nervous system creates hierarchies of functioning in various states. One of those really important relaxed states is when we're conversing, when we're socializing. It's like, oh, interesting. Yogis are onto it. So we'll go elbows shoulder width, forearms planted. And so feel how the shoulders move as you're pressing the earth. And exhaling the knees off the ground. Keep hearing the Ujjayi breath, and that might be this kind of the return move, that the simplicity of just hearing Ujjayi. And as you're hearing the Ujjayi, feeling the Ujjayi, which is happening somewhere in the face, a lot of those, the production of that sound is happening in the throat and face. Feel that the neck muscles are very close to your vocal structure, and that you're not just relaxing the area by the neck bone, but you're relaxing around the vocal structure. And when you relax your neck, feel and hear how your breath, your Ujjayi breath sound qualitatively changes. So you're listening to relaxing the neck as a vocal adaptation, a little change in our voice. So go deeper than the neck muscles around the spine bones. And raise the right leg away from the ground. We're really going to field test it. So as you raise and reach the right leg back away from your neck, is it possible to grow lighter beneath the vocal structure? Feel the shoulders. The shoulders are somewhat beneath the vocal structure. When my shoulders grow lighter, how does that sound in my voiced breath, my Ujjayi breath? Let's switch sides. We'll bring the right leg down. And the left leg. And we'll set the left leg down. And softly set the knees down. Good. We'll press up to standing so we can do some Agnisara. Now some little fine point, maybe differences from some other ways of doing Agnisara. So some of these breath moves are done traditionally with what's called a bandha, which is just kind of a muscular feel. We don't do that. You'll notice I don't cue us to do that. I actually want you to feel and explore the unclamped throat, the unclamped pelvic floor, the unclamped solar plexus, diaphragm, and the head diaphragms. So what we do in lieu of that bond or that seal or that is we just let the structure move together from chin to the chest. So I just want you to know that there's some differences and it'll affect how we're experiencing our neck muscles, voice muscles. So inhale into the low belly, low back. A swift, thorough exhale out the mouth. I'm just going to lower my chin nearer to my sternum, not to seal, not to pull it down, but just to gather the neck structure toward each other. And draw the belly in and release several times, maybe 3 or 4 or 5 times. Releasing the belly when you need to breathe. All right, let's do another. Swift, thorough exhalation. Just talking with a body worker yesterday, and in their view and their work, I'll do one final round of Agni Sara in your pace. And they're just discussing how when someone comes for treatment regarding their neck, it rarely resolves, but then when they start to work with the sacrum, a lot of the things they came for regarding the neck start to find ease and resolve. You feel the relaxedness of the neck area, and also the belly kind of drawing and moving interior to the sacrum. It's really neat. All right. And we'll move to the top of our mat. Have your strap nearby if you use, or a strap for something, say like archer or behind the back arms. And then inhaling, we'll bend knees, chair pose, reaching the arms up overhead. Exhale, fold, softening through the weight of the head and the neck. There you go. Monkey. Inhale. Exhale, step back. You could jump back if you're feeling floaty. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. So I'm going to pause us here in just a moment. Keep breathing, because I'm just anticipating this particular set of behaviors about ready to happen. So I'm calling it out before it happens. As we're about to inhale and move our foot forward, notice and watch for a couple of things. If you lift your head, hear if that changes the voice of your breath. Can you relax the eyes, but just gently? And now inhale, step your right foot between your hands, warrior one. We'll get a couple more tries to play with that. We'll set the hands down, exhale, step back, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Here's the another chance. Listen to the sound of your Ujjayi as you inhale the left foot forward. There's often a tightening of the voice or the neck in those moments. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, step or lightly jump forward, monkey. Exhale, fold. Chair. Inhale, bend knees. Reach arms up. Tailbone slightly shifts down. Standing, exhale, hands to heart. Let's do another. Inhaling, chair pose, knees bend, arms reach. Slight shift in the tail, the neck can get soft and long. And then exhale, folding, straightening legs, allowing the lung to relax down the neck, the head. And then monkey, inhale, using the hands to press ground or shin. The chest lifts away from the lap. Set the hands down. Exhale, step or lightly jump back, chaturanga. And then inhaling, coming up. So This could be cobra, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Now here's that step. Sometimes our neck gets a little extra involved, so just listen here as you inhale the left foot between your hands. Sometimes we use our eyes to move our foot, but hands to ground, exhale, chaturanga. Here we go. Inhale, the coming up, cobra or upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Here's the other side. So listen, feel what the eyes do, the neck does, the voice. As you inhale the right foot forward, warrior one. Hands to ground, exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, downward dog. I know we might be a little differently paced, that's fine. Inhale, step or lightly jump feet forward. Monkey. So getting the trunk super lengthy, and then exhale, lengthening those guts down. The lung relaxes down, the neck relaxes down. Chair. Bend knees, inhale, reach arms up. Stand, exhale, hands to heart. All right, we can continue with some extras. Inhale, bend knees, chair. Exhale, fold. Monkey, inhale. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, right foot forward, warrior one. I'm going to scoop up that strap and just place it over the front leg, drawing the arms up. So we can do a little brain cradling. So the arms active, the shoulders have a task besides holding the neck up. And the next task is to just hang out and figure out, how do I relax? So I like to stack my hands, fingers over fingers, and right under that occiput, the base ridge of your skull. Gather the arms in really close to the sides of head. Inhale, reaching up through those arms, shoulders. I'm not pulling on the head, but exhaling, I'm letting the head just kind of hang out in the hammock of my hands. And this may take a couple breath moments to figure out, how do I relax my neck back? So let's hang out. You feel the interaction between the throat and the lungs. We're going to release just by setting the head back, oriented toward the horizon. And then with the strap, archer. Let's go right elbow up, left elbow down. And I dare you to move the arms around the neck without twisting or torquing the head or the neck. It's totally possible to move the arms around this head oriented toward the horizon. And we release. Easy twisting warrior. We'll let that strap down. Inhale, left hand to ground. Exhaling. Keep letting the head and the neck find their most relaxed path as the right arm reaches toward the sky. As the right arm reaches to the sky, the blade lifts to the sky. Start to reach back. Now, taking the feeling breath moment into the right lung. We're just kind of biasing, opening through that right side chest. But start to feel that right lung, how it contributes its breath to the voice, to the neck. Feel that lung toward the vocal structure pathway. Feel the breath from lung to and through the neck. Exactly how we would voice anything. Feeling the lung to vocal pathway. It might be surprising to us if we discovered that the pathway feels a little missing. It's so fun. We're just kind of tracing it, remembering it, finding it again. Our voice is part of the digestive system. Our voice is part of the respiration system. Our voice is it's wrapped up in a lot of systems. Inhale, we'll go right hand to ground. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Can the sound unstrained? I wonder if this sounds or feels like a straining pose on the voice. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, left foot forward, warrior one. Did you hear it in the step? Was it the grunt and cast, the foot forward transition? Ah. Oh, I'm going to get my strap ready. Enough heckling. Let's get ready. All right. The strap's on the thigh for the future. Hands under the skull for the present. Brain cradling. Inhale. Reaching up through the arms. And the hands. Let's cradle the back of the brain and then exhaling. Start to feel some of the neck structures. Yes, they can let go. Yes, it may change our orientation. We may feel a little bit micro stumbly for a moment, but you'll catch yourself. But keep feeling the neck muscles relaxing. It's all around the brain and it's all around the vocal structure. I'm reaching up to the arms because my lungs can support the top of my ribs. My lungs are supporting my shoulders. My shoulders are resting on this incredible structure of the lungs. Capable, supportive lungs. And then as you inhale, help the head return to a horizon orientation. And then with the strap, if you use strap, we'll go left elbow up, right elbow down. Archer and Warrior One. Yep, and moving your arms around the voice and the eyes and the head. I think it's such an interesting behavior that we would twist our voice and our neck and our eyes around the arms doing. Yeah. What's that pathway feel like from lungs to voice? What's that like to feel that the voice is supported atop the lungs? And you may have to word these inquiries differently for yourself. These inquiries just might be little stem cells, and it takes you into some different line of self-questioning. So let's release the strap, let the arms down. Easy twisting warrior. Inhale, the right palm reaches for the ground. And let the head and the neck kind of find their way. I don't know what their way is, but you'll find it. And then raise and reach the left arm up. The relaxedness around the throat and the neck and the discs is something that you find from within. You don't need to ragdoll or shake out the tension. In fact, I recommend do not shake or ragdoll your head around as if to, it's like you're shaking out the dirt from a carpet. The neck can be really tender sometimes. But now we can certainly focus and feel on, there we go. There's a whole bunch of left lung, huh? Feel that left lung. Mixing and moving through the vocal, through the throat area. Go ahead, reach that arm up. Oh, like really lift, really reach. Like, there's a chest there. There's a lung. It's not a cerebral lung, it's a real lung. Keep reaching, reach back. How's that left lung support, contribute? What's that breath pathway like from lung to voice? And inhale, bring that left hand down to the ground. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog, and listen for the freedom or the effort around the chest and the shoulders. Exhale, downward dog. I'm going to take 2 additional breaths in downward dog. You can feel the lung and the exhale just pouring over the neck and head on its way out. And gently set the knees down. Right. A short study, or an etude, as we call it in music. Lie back for the rest note post etude. I'm just letting that breath, energy, kind of mix and mingle through these pathways, lung, voice, face. If you're still subtly breathing in that Ujjayi, it's fine. Just alter slightly the vowel shape. It's not a dramatic mouth shape. It's just a subtle start of a mouth movement. It's you'll feel that toward the palatal pharyngeal area. And just as you're eliding through a couple of vowels, and feel what else starts to relax. And then just simply relax the vowelization, the mouth, pharyngeal movements, palatal movements. And when you're ready, bend knees. Turn to a side. Use hands. And press. Press up into the rest of your day. Namaste. All right.